Welcome to the Scariest Things podcast, your gateway to the trends and tropes of the horror genre. And once again, it's time for the Thingy Awards, where we celebrate the best that was of 2022. And since we're sort of on pace with the Tony Awards, we're in good shape. Sure, it's June. We don't care. We're going to do our award show now.
Yeah.
So we have actually canvassed some of our favorite fans and contributors to once again weigh in on the best and the worst of the horror scene from 2022. I'm again, introductions, your host Eric Lee, along with, as usual,
Mike Campbell
and
Liz Williams.
So, you guys, what's your broad take? Because we do our end of the year favorites.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My broad take, which was the same as my end of the year broad take, is 2022 was the worst year for horror, and it was also the best year for horror that I've experienced as a horror podcaster over the last 6 years. Best and worst simultaneously.
So explain yourself.
I saw the best horror films I've ever seen in 2022. I saw the worst horror films I've ever seen in 2022.
It's a Dickensian year.
It is a very Dickensian year. Yes. Liz, what about you? What was your hot take for 2022?
You know what? I like doing the thingies in the middle of the year because I liked going back and remembering everything from last year. And I agree, it was a pretty dang good movie year. And I'm excited to see what our voters think and who comes out on top.
Yeah, you really get a chance to take a minute out and catch those films that maybe you couldn't catch in 2022, maybe weren't quite out on VOD yet, maybe didn't hit the video shelves. I know next week, I'm very excited because Evil Dead Rise is coming to Movie Madness in a physical form.
There you go.
So I will finally get a chance to watch it. Renfield just came out on DVD last week.
Okay.
But they only had DVD. They did not have a Blu-ray copy. And I said, I'll be damned if I'm going to watch a DVD copy of Renfield.
No, Renfield is actually something on Ultra HD 4K that will look really good.
Yeah.
And it's an action movie, so you kind of want that high frame rate.
That's right. But that's what I like about doing the thingies in towards the middle part of the years. You do get that chance to sort of go back and reflect and think about all those things that maybe you missed or just frankly weren't quite yet available.
Right. My takeaway is that I think we're beginning to see the real youth movement coming through. So we've had a generational change in directors. We've lost a lot of the great directors from when we were growing up through the industry. So your Wes Cravens, your Tobe Hooper, George Romero.
Todd Browning.
Yeah. But I think you're now seeing a new batch of directors as well.
Is that one of our categories? Do we get to talk about new and emerging directors?
Well, we have new and emerging actors, but the directors.
Okay.
But I think that there's the names are not ones that would necessarily roll off the tip of your tongue, with maybe the exception of Jordan Peele.
Sure.
For known maybe quantities of the directors.
Ty West.
Well, yeah, Ty West. Yeah, Ty West.
Been around for a minute.
Yeah.
He's just welcome back, Ty West.
That's right.
Yeah,
he was 8 or 9 years taking a break from horror.
So, and he may be a 2022 nominee and a 2023 nominee.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see how Maxine represents.
Yeah, because I think your adverse reactions to Pearl prevented Pearl from ending up on our list. However, there are some of our voters who actually really took a shine to Pearl.
Oh, I know. People love Pearl.
And and so that there were some write-in nominations for Pearl on in a few of the categories.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But let's walk up to the podium. So
Yeah.
Liz, dressed in her finest Chanel,
Yes.
and
It's Versace.
coming up.
It's pronounced Versace. If you get that, DM me.
Veraki.
It's pronounced Versace. Okay.
So what have we got coming up first?
We are going to kick it off with the best actress in a leading role. And it seems like it has to be said every year, but the best actress is the hardest and most jam-packed of our nominee groups. This year is no exception. There are so many great performances by actresses in 2022 where women simply owned the genre. This year, a definitive new wave of young actresses are on the scene, but Rebecca Hall is holding down the fort for veteran actresses. And she's still young. But there is a new generational push that has arrived. And there were so many people, we couldn't include everybody, but our nominees are Mia Goth for Maxine in X, Rebecca Hall as Margaret in Resurrection, Sosie Bacon as Rose in Smile, Micah Monroe as Julia in Watcher, Jenna Ortega as Wednesday Adams in Wednesday, Anya Taylor-Joy as Margot in The Menu, Taylor Russell as Marin in Bones and All, and Amber Midthunder as Naru in Prey. And Eric, the winner, please.
The winner, and this is sort of the year of Mia Goth, who wins for Maxine in X. She also got a write-in for Pearl.
Okay.
So and so she is part of this the generational shift. Both she and Jenna Ortega, I think, are sort of poster girls for what's of in-demand actresses in the horror genre.
Yeah.
But the best performance of the year was Rebecca Hall as Margaret in Resurrection.
Yeah.
Says Mike.
People may have spoken, but Liz and Mike have spoken that it's Rebecca Hall.
Mike's mayoral term has ended, and he no longer. It's right.
All right, moving on to the best actor in a leading horror movie role. These actors anchored their films in 2022. The generational change in the male side of the horror genre is also going through a youth movement. Though a couple of veteran actors had great showings in 2022, Tim Roth, Ralph Fiennes. This was largely a young man's game in 2022. It bodes well for the future of horror, doesn't it? Question mark. The nominees were Jacob Anderson as Louis DuPont in Louis DuPont de Lac in Interview with the Vampire. Timothy Chalamet as Lee in Bones and All, Ralph Fiennes as Chef Slowick in The Menu, Daniel Kaluuya as O.J. Hayward in Nope, Ryan Quanten as Wes in Glorious, Tim Roth as David in Resurrection, and Mason Thames as Finney in The Black Phone, and Joseph Winter as Sean Ruddy in Deadstream, and the winner was
Ralph Fiennes.
Oh, interesting.
Is Chef Slowick in The Menu. He was
all right.
It was he was very menacing. He was terrific in that role.
It's Ralph Fiennes. I mean, like,
you can't.
It's hard. That's like putting Meryl Streep up and like.
How many Academy Awards does Ralph Fiennes have?
I think he's got one.
I think he's got one for Schindler's List, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Slumming it in the world of horror. Good job, Ralph Fiennes.
Yep.
All right. Next up, Liz.
Okay, next we are going to the best supporting actress in a horror movie role. And often the supporting actresses get some of the best roles where actresses can unleash their inner method. Villains, colorful companions, and we got some really good ones this year. So here are our nominees. Gwendolyn Christie as Jan Stevens in Flux Gourmet. Madeline McGraw as Gwen Blake in The Black Phone. Noomi Rapace as Novena in, there's no title here, but I remember the name of it, and I can't remember the movie.
You Won't Be Alone.
Yeah, You Won't Be Alone. Kiki Palmer as Emerald Hayward in Nope. Katie Segal as Harper Dutch in Torn Hearts. Brittany Snow as Bobby Lynn in X. Laura Donnelly as Elsa Bloodstone in Werewolf by Night, and Jenna Malone as Alice in Swallowed. And our winner is
Not even close
What?
this year.
Yeah.
What?
Madeline McGraw as Gwen
Woo!
Blake in The Black Phone. She is a little powerhouse.
Yeah,
I
she's
cannot wait to
fantastic.
see how she develops because
Yeah,
she's not in the movie a whole lot, but when she's in
Right.
it, she owns it.
that's right.
I think also the most toe curling child
Oh,
abuse
yeah,
scene
yeah.
I've ever seen. I mean, it's like when she's crying, it was
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
it was like
She
full
brought
on.
it.
It's like, now please tell me that you actually haven't been
Right,
abused
right,
because
right.
it's like you want to go up and hug her.
Yeah, and she's like 11, 12 years old, something like that.
Yeah,
That's pretty impressive.
Really good young actress.
Yeah.
Let's hope that she follows a role that doesn't follow in the Exorcist footsteps and ends up
That's
doing
right.
trashy movies later in her career.
Oh, come
Don't
on.
make
Dude.
The Exorcist 2, Madeline.
That's right.
Roller Boogie was perfectly fine. It's a little aside. I was thinking about showing Nope to my youngest son, and I said, "Oh, I think you can see Nope. It's not that bad. It's not that scary." And I looked up under the IMDb Parents Guide, and Keke Palmer says the word "fuck" 62 times in the movie.
That's okay. Hank's
62.
That's just a half hour with Dad. I mean, come on.
Sure, exactly. All right, moving on to the best supporting actor in a horror movie role. Are you looking for comic relief? Your antagonist, your foil, the best friend who tells it like it is. This year's supporting actors are made up of veteran actors. These guys flesh out the movie and are the extra flavor needed to make the story work. The best supporting actors for 2022 are Joseph Colomb as Dom in Swallowed, Bern Gorham as Daniel Weber in The Watcher. Is it Watcher or The Watcher?
It's Watcher.
Watcher. Ethan Hawke as the Grabber in The Black Phone. Nicholas Hoult as Tyler in The Menu. Justin Long as AJ Gilbride in Barbarian. Alistair Petrie as Seamus Laurent in The Cursed. Jack Quaid as Richie Kirch in Scream. And Stephen Yun as Jupe Park. Jupe Park in Nope. And the winner was...
Well, we have a moment where Liz is going to have to wield her mayor's gavel. Mayor's prerogative. So we have a tie between Justin Long from Barbarian, and also Bern Gorman from Watcher.
That's the easy choice.
My choice is who I voted for, and it's Justin Long.
I voted for Justin Long too.
Oh, I voted for Bern Gorham.
Really?
Yeah, he was totally.
He's menacing, but like that's his vibe in everything I've ever seen him in. He's been the menacing, creepy guy.
He has no eyebrows and no lips.
Yeah,
he's like a corpse
creepy.
walking.
Justin Long, I thought this was his role. He chewed up the scenery and played a sex offender better than anybody I've seen in a while.
He's a horror movie treasure who doesn't
He is
get
a treasure.
And the comedy of when he goes in the basement and starts realizing
with the measuring tape for square footage. Oh, I lost
That's so good. His awful turn at the end and his comeuppance, all terrific. That was he was one of those, because he doesn't show up for the bulk of the movie, but he owns the second half of the movie.
Yeah.
And when he shows up,
it was not so great in the other horror film he did this year, which was like,
was that like a vampire one or something?
Yeah, the one that was on Hulu.
I didn't watch that one.
Yeah, I watched it, and it was pretty darn awful.
Justin Long, he does a lot. He stays within the genre, though. He is a genre mainstay. That's where his bread and butter, comic relief, and sometimes he gets the lead, but often he's best sort of like third on the call sheet. House of Darkness. House of Darkness was the other one he had.
I think I turned that on and made it about 5 minutes and said, nope.
And he also made a couple bucks this year doing a little film called Christmas with the Campbells.
Hey, he came to your house?
Yeah, with Vince Vaughn and Peter Billingsley.
Okay.
So, so he's sticking with the genre-ish.
Yeah.
Cool. Liz,
All
what do we
right.
got next?
Our next category is the Fay Ray Award for Breakout Rising Star. And you don't have to be a youngster to be a breakout star, but it helps. Many of these performers are in their first dramatic roles in a feature film. In 2022, most of these nominees are getting their first lead roles or maybe first movies ever. And these are actors who deserve to reap the reward of bigger and better jobs due to their great performances in horror this year. And our nominees are Madeline McGraw as Gwen in The Black Phone, Mason Thomas as Finney in The Black Phone.
I think it's Thames.
Oh, is it?
Or Thames.
Thames. Mason
Yeah.
Thames as Finney in The Black Phone. Jenna Ortega in X, and she's in Wednesday, and she's in Scream, but we're not going to hold Scream against her. Georgina Campbell as Tess in Barbarian. Mary Glenn Frederick as Jenny in Stag. Laura Galan as Sarah in Piggy. Aisha D as Cecile in Sissy. Amber Mid-Thunder as Naru in Prey. And Cooper Koch as Benjamin in Swallowed. Eric, who is our winner?
It's a bit of a surprise, actually, given that we just had Madeline McGraw win for Best Supporting Actress. But this is the year of Jenna Ortega. She's sort of ubiquitous, and so she pulled out 35% of the vote. A fairly substantial win for Jenna Ortega.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she was born to play Wednesday Addams. Man, does she is terrific in that role. And that I think if it, she was pretty good in X as a supporting member. But really all of a sudden now she is an actress in demand because of Wednesday. And she, so Scream 6 she headlines that. It's interesting how they rewrote the marketing campaign for Scream 6 around her. And sort of less Courtney Cox, which must be a little bit of a dent to the Courtney Cox ego. But I think Jenna Ortega is going to be someone we're going to be seeing a lot of in the next few years.
All right. Moving on to the Gateway Award, the best horror film for young and new horror fans. We all have to start somewhere, and these nominees are your on-ramp to the horror genre. Not as scary or viscerally as intense as much of the horror, these movies still bring some of the scares, but often a lot of the fun to the proceedings. Honestly, this year, not a lot of kids fare. None of these are kids films. But a bunch of films that would be low impact for horror newbies, and per usual, it's largely the big studios providing the more accessible fare. The nominees were The Black Phone, Nope, Werewolf by Night, Bones and All, Smile, Torn Hearts, Prey, and Who Invited Them? And the winner was...
lots of spread around on this one, but Prey takes this one. This is, I think a lot of people sort of it's the great restart of a veteran franchise.
Sure.
Sort of reset the clock for them. It looks terrific. I think it also it's an adventure romp. And it actually brings horror back to the Predator franchise, where it's been sort of largely absent for the past couple versions, where it's more just science fiction action. Now it's actually the monster is significantly stronger than everything else in its path. So Prey.
Best Predator 2. Heard it here first. Moving on.
Really, Predator 2. So I'm sticking with the original.
With Gary Busey going over the top. And that was Danny Glover going over the top. Everybody and
every Predator goes over the top.
Yes, that's right. And that's actually one of the interesting things is with Prey, Amber Mid-Thunder and Dakota Beavers, your two leads, they play it kind of low key, and maybe that's the classic laconic Native American. I think plays in its favor here. I think that, but she brings a great intensity. I thought it was terrific.
For sure.
Yeah, I really liked it. Okay. Liz. Our next category is the Abbott and Costello Award for Best Use of Humor in a Horror Film. Horror comedy, peanut butter and jelly. These two complement each other and try to draw the two great and powerful emotions out of you in quick succession. That is scares and laughs. Humor and glee with dread and terror. When it doesn't work, it's almost painful, But when it works, it's pure gold. So here are our favorite horror comedies from 2022. Who Invited Them? When the Screaming Starts? Cult Hero? Deadstream? Glorious? Violent Night? Stag? And Yule Log. Eric, who's taken home the award for best horror comedy?
It's Christmas time. Violent Night.
Oh, interesting.
I have yet to see Violent
Oh,
Night.
it's so good. And I think
that's
it's on HBO or Prime or something. It's free.
Right.
I think Amazon Prime has it. Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
And it's David
Dude, it's
Harbour as
Booper.
Santa.
Killer
Booper
Santa.
and
Yeah.
Santa.
Yeah. So
it was better than it had any right to be. When I saw it, I was like, it's just gonna be silly. No, it made my top 10 list. I freaking loved it. It is gonna be a holiday tradition.
Yeah, I think that's for a lot of people. We've gotten a lot of great Christmas horror.
Oh yeah.
But this one probably is more fun than, certainly more fun than Inside. Inside, which is Liz's other go-to.
Put them back to back. I'll start out with Inside, and then I'll watch.
And then Palate Cleanser with Violent Night. Reset your.
Speaking of people we're going to be seeing a lot of over the next several years, not only will we be seeing a lot of Jenny Ortega, we will be seeing a lot of David Harbour.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we already have, but we'll be seeing a lot more. All right, moving on to the best horror movie poster of the year. The art of the movie poster isn't dead yet. Horror films have always had some of the best movie posters. Read the best movie posters. In an era where movie marketers want to pitch the headshots of the big stars into their movies, horror movies rely upon the story and the feels of the films to draw you to them. Best horror movie posters include The Accursed, Fall, Prey, Who Invited Them, Pray for the Devil, Smile, Studio 666, and Terrifier 2, and the winner is...
Well, this is the Mike Campbell special for posters, but this year this poster overwhelmingly took Fall at 50%.
What?
Yeah, that's a great poster. I love that.
It's a great poster.
It's okay. Terrifier 2 poster is the best poster of the year.
I don't know. If I had to pick a second place, I'd go with Pray for the Devil. So that just shows the poster sometimes can be way better than the movie.
I like the poster for Prey would have been my second choice. Fall was my favorite. I bet.
Yeah, Fall was my favorite.
I did put many of these. If you go to the website and check out the dead list, many of these for the best poster of 2022. We have a whole post up with a number of different posters. Many of these are included. I am a huge fan of illustration, though. That's my jam.
I think 6 of the 8 were on that of this list were on the dead list that Mike created a while back.
Yep.
All right. Now we are going to the best looking horror movie and the cinematography award. So we've split cinematography off from special effects. And that's because the recognition is for 2 distinctly different elements in a movie. These 2022 films were able to show the beauty to juxtapose or heighten the sense of terror and dread in their films. And our nominees are Fall, Watcher, The Menu, You Won't Be Alone, X, Nope, Flux Gourmet, and Prey. Eric, the winner, please.
We have a 3-way tie.
Ooh.
What? So Liz gets to do this. Liz got to be the mayor at just the right time here. So this is a 3-way tie between Nope, Prey, and The Menu.
Okay, it's The Menu.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's not going to be Nope, from my opinion, on that movie.
But although I will say that
100% The Menu.
I think Justin Peele filmed Nope in IMAX. Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
What did I say?
I don't know. Once I saw that
Jordan Peele, yeah.
quote unquote monster, it looked like Justin Peele made it. Like I thought that thing looked like remember in gym, did you ever have the parachutes that you would shake and then everybody sits under it? That thing just looked like I did not like it. It was like a parachute jellyfish,
also known as the jean jacket. That's the name of the creature. I want to find what the the building that they filmed the menu in, because that is a cool location, and they used the whole building and the island so well.
But as one of those foodie type people, I was like, oh my God, that looks good. Oh, I want to go there. Like,
the food shots were terrific.
It was the best looking movie by far. S'mores, costumes, and all.
Moving on to the Harryhausen for the best visual effects of 2022. And here's the other side of the visual experience. Whether it's the lovely shadow puppetry of Candyman, the Vegas-style zombie apocalypse of Army of the Dead, the subtle ghostly surprises of the Night House, or the three-way kaiju throwdown in Godzilla vs. King Kong, we get some real visual treats in 2022. And your candidates are The Fall, Prey.
Pause.
Yeah, pause. Take out that whole thing, because none of those movies are up.
Yeah, that was last year's thing. This is the result of.
It's okay. Because we're just talking generally about.
But we're not talking about any of the nominees.
Any of those movies, yeah.
None of these nominees are on the list. So so we're gonna So at the we're gonna take a look at where we are on the map here.
I get what you're saying, like, and that's probably why I didn't delete the things, because it kind of, when you're reading it, like, it could be these, but we wouldn't have included Army of the Dead.
No,
20
never ever
20 at the 25-30 mark. That's where we that's where you started into this. So we'll do a reboot. So think about how you want to.
I'll just read the first and the last line.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yep. Okay.
Moving on to the Harryhausen Awards, the best visual effects for 2022. This is the other side of the visual experience, and your candidates include Fall, Prey, Hellraiser, Mad God, Nope, Werewolf by Night, The Cursed, and Beast. And the winner is
Fall. This is
a landslide. Huh?
It won it. Pretty good percentage here. I think the trickery that they did to make you think that they were up 2,000 feet in the air was super convincing. And they built a rig that was still about 200 feet in the air.
Yeah.
So there was a risk of falling and dying on that set, but they didn't take but they didn't have to. So they built a crane to do a lot of the shots, and the kinds of it was like really cool on a small budget how they pulled off those effects.
That movie looks great.
It's a fantastic.
I wish I had seen that in the theater. Yeah, I wish I had seen it in the theater. But
that would have made your
honestly,
stomach
I was
turn.
like, this doesn't look that good. And then we watched it at home, and I was like, wow, I was very impressed by that movie. Very impressed. All right. Our next category is the best sounding movie, and that includes sound effects, mixing, and soundtrack. It's weird. The Lost Boys is not up here for best soundtrack. But sound does play such an important role in horror movies, from the snap of a branch to the right audio. From the snap of a branch. Hold on, stop.
Right. Pause.
Yeah, I'm sorry. To the nap of a neck. It just caught me. So I'm gonna take that.
Okay. It's nape.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it should be.
I'm just gonna take that sentence out.
The break of a neck, or the breaking of a neck, or something.
Snap.
Better.
It's a snap of a neck.
Snap of the neck. Okay.
I was like, the nap.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, hold on.
I'll do the whole thing over, including my Lost Boys a bit. Just.
You got to get that in.
Okay, our next category is for the best sounding movie, and that includes sound effects, mixing, and soundtrack. Even though The Lost Boys is not nominated for best soundtrack this year, it still is the best horror movie soundtrack.
It's evergreen.
Yes, it's evergreen. Okay, so sound plays such an important role in horror movies. From the snap of a branch to the snap of a neck, the right audio clue at the right moment makes all the difference in the world. Sometimes you're looking for the jump scares, and other times you're setting up an ominous build, and you need the right audio scores to hammer this home. This category also recognizes movies that have strong original soundtrack ties or a great original score. And our nominees are The Black Phone, Bones and All, Flux Gourmet, Nope, Pearl, Prey, Werewolf by Night, and X. Eric, who is our winner, please?
by a significant percentage, The Black Phone.
Oh.
Which I think that was a combination really of sort of period piece kind of soundtrack and how the jump scares, because we saw Mike leap out of his seat at least 3 times.
Airborne, people.
And it's also the weirdest and most appropriate use of a Pink Floyd song in a film ever.
Yeah.
And which song was that? That was
incredible. It's one of the songs off of Dark Side of the Moon. Yeah. Incredible use that they play the entire song. That's the other thing that's really incredible too. And it's a very, very long sequence.
It's the one with
it's at the end of the film,
right. Not Time. Is it Time?
No,
it's one of which would make sense because ringing and that kind of stuff. But anyways, we'll get back to to what that song was. But
just go watch The Black Phone if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's right. It was terrific sounding movie.
Yeah.
All right.
Tough one coming up. Here we go.
Moving on to the best international horror film. Where would the horror genre be without movies like Martyrs, Ju-On, Train to Busan, Suspiria, Nosferatu, or Pan's Labyrinth? Foreign films are also envelope pushers. Horror films push the extremes, and this year is no exception. The nominees for this year's best international films are Speak No Evil from Denmark, Naughty Morty from Italy, Moloch from the Netherlands, Saloon from Senegal, The Innocents from Norway, Mal de Ojo, The Evil Eye from Mexico, It Hatched from Iceland, Hatching from Finland, Zalava from Iran, and You Won't Be Alone from Montenegro. And the winner is,
in a very strong category. It wasn't particularly close. It's Speak No Evil.
Oh yeah.
So I think this one I know that this was Liz's number one.
Yep. I'm just looking at these nominees and I'm like, man, there's a lot of Scandinavian horror.
I know.
Yeah, but I think it was cool that we got a Senegalese movie in Saloon.
And an Iranian movie.
Yeah, Zalava was a lot of fun. Liz and I actually caught that at Overlook.
And an Icelandic film. Shout out to our man Elvar Gunnarsson.
In for It Hatched.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was, I think it's unfortunate that both Hatching and It Hatched came out in the same year.
Yeah. Too much hatching.
Yeah.
Too much hatching.
But both of them have some pretty spectacular eggs.
Yeah.
That's
involved.
True.
Lots of hatching.
That is
All right, here's a fun one.
Okay, the Depends Award. What movie crapped its pants and disappointed us the most in 2022? We are careful to point out here, this isn't the worst, but the most disappointing. Like, we're not mad, we're just disappointed. And that's almost worse. So the thing is, you have to have the semblance of expectations to begin with in order to make this list. The movie needed to sound like it was going to be entertaining, but ended up being a letdown. And your nominees for 2022's Depends Award are Firestarter with a Rotten Tomatoes of 10%, Halloween Ends with a score of 40%, Jeepers Creepers Reborn with a 8% Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, it sounds like poor Robert probably watched this one.
He did.
Yeah. Morbius with an 18% on Rotten Tomatoes. Pray for the Devil coming in right below that at 17. Rob Zombie's The Munsters, which has a Rotten Tomatoes of 53% because some people just, I don't know. The Requiem with 19%. Studio 666 with 56%, which I have a problem with it being on this list. But then we have movie. They Them with a score of 38% on Rotten Tomatoes, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, not the original, the 2022.
And there's no "the" in front of this one. It's just Texas Chainsaw.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre at 32%. And Eric, who disappointed us the most last year?
Well, this is, you get to have some fun again, Liz.
Oh, good.
We have a 3-way tie.
Okay.
Halloween Ends.
Okay.
We have Jeepers Creepers Reborn.
Okay.
And we have The Requiem.
Well,
what?
I'm picking Halloween Ends because I voted for it because I have not seen the other two movies.
Halloween Ends, actually, it's a terrible film, but it actually has some pretty solid elements to it.
But remember, the criteria is not how bad is the movie, how disappointing is the movie. Like,
that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's as disappointing as say that Texas Chainsaw is just flat out terrible.
Yeah.
Flat out terrible. Studio 666 is a great film.
Yeah,
I did not like.
It is really fun.
Those guys cannot act.
So this was the ballot maker sliding in something he didn't like. Okay, folks.
Yeah, Dave Grohl does a great job with it, and Will Forte is hysterical in the film. I think it's a great movie, and I think it deserves to be seen, and I think it's actually pretty damn funny too. I think it's a really funny movie.
I say no on all your statements. I had high expectations because I thought this was going to be a lot of fun, and I was bored stiff.
I had a lot of fun.
I have tried to watch The Munsters now 3 times. I've started it 3 times.
That is Hank, more than you should try.
Hank only watched it once.
He knows better.
Yeah, and I haven't finished it because it's that bad.
Yeah,
that one I knew was going to be bad coming into it, but Texas Chainsaw, based on the criteria, I am here to tell you is far, far, far and away the worst movie of 2020.
I didn't even bother.
Yeah,
I watched it.
Although
liked it better than Halloween Ends.
I think that I've seen some of the stills, and some of the shots look pretty good from the stills, but I saw your review and I was like, I ain't touching this.
Yeah.
Because I have been severely disappointed with Texas Chainsaw stuff. There's nothing after the second one. There hasn't been anything else that I've really enjoyed out of the Texas Chainsaw franchise.
Number 3 with Vigo is great. That's a great movie.
I think the problem is that it has to live up to the expectations, and it's really, really hard to live up.
The third one totally does. The third one is awesome. When was the last time you saw Texas Chainsaw 3? It is good.
It's been a while. It doesn't sit with me. I mean, I won't say it's awful. I mean, but it doesn't stick. I mean, it's like with the first 2. Yeah.
One of y'all will get to do the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in a couple of podcasts when we spin the wheel of misfortune with the Jersey Ghouls. Stay tuned, listeners, for that.
There you go. I'll do it.
Marissa and Jackie.
It's up to the wheel, Mike. Not to
all right. Moving on to the Bloodbath Award. This is the best use of exploitation or gore in a horror movie in 2022. 2022 for Gorehounds will ever be known as the year of Terrifier 2. No doubt this is NC-17 material, and frankly, this appears to be Art's party, and everyone else is happy to be here, but who knows? The rest of the scenes were pretty intense, and they included Prey, where the Predator tears up the entire fur trapper company, Mad God, where the pooping giant scene, Hellraiser, where Voight gets skinned and turned into a Cenobite, Naughty Morty dealing with the greedy sister, Swallowed digging out the packages out of Dom, Terrifier 2, where Art butchers Allie, Terrifier 2, where Art dismantles the coroner's head, and Terrifier 2, where Art butchers Ricky at the Halloween butchers Ricky, the Halloween shop clerk, and the winner was
Terrifier 2, Art Butcher's Alley, which is so
super gross.
I had to bail.
Yeah, and I think it was I voted 9 minutes long.
I voted for it because it's
it's insanely long.
It's insanely long.
And it was
And good news, they just announced this week, Terrifier 3 is coming out in fall of 2024.
It's hard to get as much bang for your buck as you can with Terrifier 2. I mean, it's like small budget indie film, and it hit because it's for the gore. It is explicitly for the Gorehounds, and they don't. This Liz, who is our hardiest of
this one made my top 10 list though. Even though I was a one and done, I talked about it on our only need to see it one time.
Yeah, because I took one for the team.
Yeah,
because I knew its reputation, so I watched this when assembling the nominations, and I was like, okay, I could have gone 5 deep on Terrifier 2.
It could have all been like, which Terrifier 2 scene is the goriest?
But there were some other great moments. I also remember the Mad God scene with the pooping giants, and I was like, oh, that's so wrong. That's so wrong. And the Swallowed scene where digging the packages out of Port Dom. Man, I mean, it's more suggestive than explicit, but it is still one of the yuckiest things and it's one of the cringiest scenes you will see
Mhm.
on the screen. So definitely check out Swallowed.
Yeah.
Check out Terrifier 2 if you've got a strong constitution.
Yeah.
That's that all the warning labels apply to Terrifier 2.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right, let's move on.
Yes. Okay. Our next category is for the best screenplay. And an encouraging trend in horror movies over the past decade is the emphasis on strong storytelling and dialogue. And this year's nominees are no exception. And they are Bones and All, Barbarian, Watcher, See No Evil, The Menu, Resurrection, Digging in the Dirt, and The Black Phone. Eric, who is our winner, please?
Blowout winner this year.
Woo!
The Menu.
Mhm.
Oh.
Super smart script.
Mhm.
Man, that was
Now, I have not seen The Menu. But
What?
Yeah.
Mike.
No, because you both characterized it as a thriller, less horror, and I've stayed away from it just based on that alone.
Oh no, it's a great movie.
Fix
Okay.
it. It
Well,
is
no, I know
a
it's a
fantastic
great
movie.
I know it's a great movie, but
It's got a cult in it.
Yeah.
but okay. But everybody
And
everybody,
Murders.
including you all, have
Yeah.
sort of
Mhm.
characterized it not as a horror movie, but as a thriller.
It is more thriller than horror.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
But it is also it belongs in a horror movie recap.
Yeah, for sure.
So that
Okay.
Please remedy that tonight, Mr. Cameron. I believe it is streaming. I cannot believe you haven't seen it. It is so good.
All right.
So good.
Best monster of 2022. There's something about the great inhuman monster, Big Stompy or Twisted. These mutated beasties touched our imagination in 2022, and they include the monstrous marsupial in Carnifex, the bird creature from Hatching, not It Hatched, but Hatching, the living packages from Swallowed, the feral predator in Prey, Pinhead in Hellraiser, the strange wolf beast in The Cursed, the man thing in Werewolf After Midnight, and the subterranean lab experience in The Lair. And the winner was
people went with the familiar Pinhead
yeah.
from Hellraiser, with our new
Jamie
female
Clayton.
Pinhead.
Yeah.
And she looked terrific.
She did.
Yeah, all the Cenobites look great.
Yeah.
The film was boring.
I liked it. I had a good time with it.
It's
It was fine. Yeah.
It's a 3-star film. It's a 3-star film.
I'd say it's 3.5 for me. I think
it looked great, but it was just
I just
tend to
couldn't
think of
stand
that
that lead actress. I know you were
she was
to like
she
her
was
character, but it was
unlikable
awful.
protagonist.
That character was awful.
Yeah, but I think that it was, for me, it was also an encouraging return to form for a franchise that has been routinely bad for the past 5 versions of Hellraiser. I mean, once you get past Hellraiser 3, it really suffered, and it's like, okay, now we're back. We can play with it a little bit.
It was a nice reboot, but
it looked great.
Yeah, it looked great and had a respectable Pinhead.
all the Cenobites were great.
Yeah. Okay. Back to a Liz favorite.
Our next category is the Elvira Award for the best horror TV series. And a great trend in horror TV continued in 2022 as long format storytelling and horror make for great bedfellows as well as anthologies. There are a few new groundbreaking shows that entered the competition this year, and sadly, one of the best, according to some people, Archive 81, was canceled after only 1 season. So make sure you're watching horror on TV, because our nominees this year are Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire from AMC, Archive 81, it was on Netflix, Chucky Season 2 on Sci-Fi, From Season 1 on Epix, Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities on Netflix, Servant on Apple, Wednesday on Netflix, and Yellow Jackets from Showtime. Eric, who is our winner?
This one, a lot of support for Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. I've seen 6 of them. I liked 3 of them, and was not fond of 3 of them, but the 3 that I liked, I really liked. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. It's really nicely produced. I think it's also one of the easiest ones to sort of to get into.
I would put this in the Hellraiser category. Looks great, kind of boring.
Oh,
I
okay.
agree with kind of boring, except for I like the Panos Cosmatos.
Yeah, that one was
one.
good.
But that one stood out as completely different from all the other ones.
Right.
I also like the warehouse one.
Yeah.
That was.
Oh
that
yeah,
was
I did
fun.
like that one. That was too. But I voted for Interview with the Vampire, and I'm going to stump for this show because I am not a huge fan of this property, but I freaking loved this show. It looks fantastic, and the cast is wonderful. It's set here in New Orleans, and they do a great job of making it look like somewhere you'd want to go. And I really really liked this kind of reboot of this property. So I'm going to tell people to check it out.
Yeah,
right.
I think this is Liz's category
by saying that I liked it.
Yeah.
So Liz, was that your vote? Did you do?
Yeah, I voted for Interview with the Vampire. The only one on this list I have not seen is there's two. I haven't seen Chucky. I'm not a big Child's Play person, and I haven't seen Wednesday yet. I think I'll probably watch that this summer. Servant is also so good, but so weird. I mean, but it's worth watching. That it looks beautiful, and From is now in its second season. I think it's Switch Networks. That's also a very cool show.
Yeah, I think that the difficulty for me is that that's a lot of stuff to try and watch, and I need to catch up with most of these. So I think that's sort of indicative of this got spread all around, and this was we got lots of votes for lots of different shows.
Yeah.
All right, Mike.
The best horror movie moment of the year. These are the proverbial holy shit events that will have you talking to your friends in years to come. The moments for us in 2022 were the destruction of Michael Myers and Halloween Ends. The jean jacket consumes everyone at Jupiter's Claim in Nope. The feral predator takes out a bear in Prey. Finney's final escape plan in The Black Phone. Tess and Keith run into the mother while exploring the basement in The Barbarian. Maxine is stuck under a bed while Frank and Pearl attempt to get it on in X. Congratulations, it's a boy from Resurrection. Lee's parting gift to Marin from Bones and All. Speak No Evil, the final grueling scene, and the prom in Wednesday. And the winner was...
this is another big win. This is Tess and Keith run into the mother and Barbarian, which is the turning point where you go, this is not what I thought it was going to be.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
This is like, oh my God, I thought the moment where is it Bill Skarsgård?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where because you think that he's the creep. At least you think initially. It's like he's this handsome but odd fella. No, he's not the problem.
Yeah.
The problem's in the basement, and he's unfortunately.
And I remember when Barbarian came out, everybody, anybody trying to write a review was like, I can't review this movie. Go in cold. Don't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Like, just go in because it splits. Yeah, right.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
That is about the halfway mark of the movie, and it changes everything.
Yeah. Okay.
I love that movie, and I voted for that one there too. Okay, so now we are in the best director of 2022, and we have a few iconic horror directors this year. We've got Jordan Peele, Ty West, Scott Derrickson. We've got Carter Smith, Luca Guadagnino, and some new entries. Okay, so our nominees are Jordan Peele for Nope, Ty West for X, Zach Krieger for Barbarian, Scott Derrickson for The Black Phone, Christian Taftrup for Speak No Evil, Chloe Okuno for Watcher, Luca Guadagnino for Bones and All, and Carter Smith for Swallowed, with a nice picture of Eric and Mike and Carter on the ballot.
Food court.
That's right. So we break out your gavel, Liz. It's time to break another tie.
Uh-oh.
So we have Ty West for X.
Okay.
We have Christian Taftrup for Speak No Evil.
Okay.
And we have Jordan Peele for Nope.
Okay. I voted and picked Ty West for this category. Even though Speak No Evil was my number one movie, it is so nice to have Ty West back. And boy, did X look cool. And Pearl looked phenomenal. I didn't love it, but it looked great. But X, I had so much fun with that. I loved it.
And that was you, and you got to. Did you actually see that at premiere?
Yep.
So that and I remember you were sort of trying to temper what you thought about the movie because getting a chance to see the debut always has that extra buzz about it.
This had that X factor,
it holds up,
like the movie. But oh man, it was great. So
and I think it also plays to Ty West's strengths, which is period piece, accuracy in his depiction of a 70s throwback, and then sort of also going just enough sleazy porn stuff to make it believable, but not so sleazy that it's like, okay, that's enough.
All right, moving on to the Horseshoes and Hand Grenades Award. This is the best horror adjacent film of 2022. One of the things that we like to talk about is whether a horror movie is a horror movie, as we have been this episode. Is it a horror movie or not? Our nominees from 2022 were Agatha, an experimental art film, Digging in the Dirt, a science fiction film, Flux Gourmet, a dark fantasy, Living with Chucky, a documentary, Mad God, experimental art, Men, a thriller, The Menu, a thriller, Prey, an action Western film, and Zero Budget Heroes, a documentary. And the winner was...
not a surprise here. This is The Menu, a thriller, as Mike has been pointing out earlier. It's and it is very much a thriller, and has enough horror. Again, we talked about this. I think so too. But I think there are a number of these other if you want to just get weirded out and watch Mad God, it is one of the weirdest things that you will put your eyes on.
I would say Men, and Men is not a thriller. It is a full-on horror film.
Men has some of the best. That should have been in our special effects, but I don't know if I would go with horror. So.
I think it shows up on a lot of thriller account.
Men is a straight-up horror film.
Yeah, and the closing sequence is about as weird as you get.
Yeah.
You're not going to find we may be talking about that here soon. Maybe. All right.
Okay. Now we are down to our final two categories. And I am going to announce the nominees for the best horror feature for an independent or limited release. And our nominees are Watcher, Who Invited Them, Swallowed, Deadstream, Resurrection, Speak No Evil, A Wounded Fawn, and Terrifier 2. Eric, who is our winner?
This is this will make Liz happy. Speak No Evil.
Yay.
This one spread out a lot of onesie twosies for a lot of these other films, but the majority of the vote, Speak No Evil, and Terrifier 2 came close behind.
I absolutely loved all of these films. All of them, loved them, except for Deadstream.
Right.
Hated Deadstream, loved the rest of them.
And Deadstream was
I like Deadstream more than you. I did not love A Wounded Fawn, but it looked great.
This is Deadstream. That's Robert and Joseph were fond of Deadstream.
Yeah,
I liked it more than I thought I would.
Okay. All right, moving on to the final category of the night, the best horror feature wide studio release. This includes Barbarian, Smile, Nope, The Black Phone, X, Bones and All, The Menu, and Prey. I like how people are keeping their film titles very, very short and concise in 2022.
It's a horror tradition.
It is. And the winner is...
Barbarian.
Yay.
Wait, no. I'm reading the colors wrong. Reading the colors wrong. Oh no! Oh God! This is like the Oscars from like 3 years ago.
We handed out the wrong
envelope. No. This is the Black Phone.
Right. There you go.
The Black Phone with 35%. So I was reading my colors. My Eric's old eyes can't tell the difference between green and blue. So it is
Settle down, Warren Beatty.
The envelope mix-up is on me. I fully admit that. Congratulations to the Black Phone. I love
Warren Beatty.
I think I was a fan of all the movies on this list. And of course, since I'm assembling the roster. I think the Black Phone was probably my favorite thing coming out of Overlook from 2 years ago. and it proved that you can do last year.
Yeah.
But it shows that there are still some good original ideas from the big studios. And you don't have to lean on your franchises, prequels, and sequels.
Yeah.
This was granted it comes from Joe Hill, and you get Scott Derrickson involved, and Ethan Hawke is he's kind of barely in the movie, barely does much acting, but he is iconic.
Prequel. I want to learn about that character.
That's a great idea.
I wouldn't be. It did pretty well in the theaters. I would be. I would expect that they're going to go back to this well.
I would love it.
Yeah. So and after all this talking about how it's great that we have an original franchise piece.
Well, now let's start one.
Okay, that's right. This is one worthy of continuing because it's
Grabber 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Electric Boogaloo.
So there you go, everybody. Our the best and the worst of 2022. If you didn't agree with this, next time vote.
That's right.
So
right.
We would like to thank all of the people who participated this year in our balloting.
But there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and we don't have time to thank.
Can't thank them all by name.
People that participated.
Right. It was spectacular how many ties we had with so many people.
That's right.
and good job, Mayor, for
thank you
for doing your duty to break the ties this year.
Luckily, all the tiebreakers were the ones that I picked, so I didn't have to choose something I didn't pick.
There you go.
Yeah.